Alrighty, let's go ahead here with personal reading order number 89. 89, you'd like to know thoughts and feelings towards you today at work. Let us see. All right, so we do have an interesting combination coming forward here. The Three of Cups coming ahead with the Page of Pentacles, Eight of Wands is like a desire to be closer. So this could be thinking about how can I interact with you? How can I connect with you? How can I take some sort of action to be around you, to be close to you? A want or desire to connect. And then we also have this idea coming forward of like what could bring happiness or what could make things feel good with the idea of the Nine of Cups, Three of Cups, as well as a Seven of Cups. Like, how do we bring forward the option where things are good? How do we bring forward the option that things are desirable? So I kind of see them bringing forward this idea of I'm thinking about how to bring forward an uplifting energy between the two of us. And I'm thinking about how can I do that in a way that is beneficial for both sides? How can I do that in a way that is not just an out of the blue, fast paced approach, but instead something that feels very slow, very reasonable, feels very balanced, and creates a sort of direction of trust or community or connection and closeness that Three of Cups can bring forward a bit more of a lively energy, but still bring forward a sense of like stability or balance to a situation. How do we bring this forward? And kind of feeling maybe a little bit lost through the idea of the Seven of Cups, wanting to bring forward a new direction, wanting to bring forward an opportunity, wanting to bring forward some sort of good, but just not necessarily knowing how to do that, not knowing how to create the sense of flow or create the sense of good energy to come forward. So I would say feeling a little bit unsure, but definitely feeling drawn to you, wanting and desiring to connect and see an uplifting energy come forward, but just being very unsure about like how do we make that happen. That's kind of what I see coming forward here in terms of thoughts and feelings. Alrighty, let's go ahead here with personal reading order number 90. You'd like to know, do they miss you? Let us see. All right. So I would say yes when it comes to this combination, but it's not a combination of longing. So we're not overly thinking or overly trying to reach out, to connect, to try to act on this missing energy. This seems to be like we are kind of just being in a place of acceptance or rest or being in the present moment when it comes to the missing energy, like kind of just being in a place of acceptance of whatever happens, happens. Because we have this Five of Pentacles coming forward, which indicates that we're not really trying to go out of our way when it comes to creating an opportunity. We have the Four of Swords, which is very rested when it comes to the idea of flow or when it comes to the idea of connection. We have the Eight of Cups, not really being in a place of knowing what's going to come next and just kind of being in a place of accepting what's going to happen could happen. We also then have the Page of Pentacles offering, but it's very slow. It's a desire, but it also comes forward as a rested energy. So I see this as kind of like them coming forward in a place of saying, missing, yes, but not overly going to chance, not overly going to act, not overly going to try to make something happen. This is just very much in a place of kind of accepting the flow and accepting the possibilities, especially with the Lovers card, which gives the idea of choices and options. It's kind of accepting the flow and the different directions that something could take without needing the sort of space to act on the missing energy. So I would say yes, it does look like they missed you based on this combination, but it seems to be more at like peace or rest or kind of like an acceptance of the what if or acceptance of the unknown with the idea of missing you. So if anybody is interested in having a personal reading here today, check out the website, temperanceandsage.com. We are doing the live personal readings here right now. So if you are interested in having a personal reading here today, check it out, temperanceandsage.com for the live personal readings. Why does this guy want to talk to you? Let us see. All right. So it seems like he wants to talk to you because he's seeing a point of connecting with you as something that could give him a better direction in terms of moving forward. The Three of Cups is a card of celebration, closeness, and connection, meaning that there's some sort of benefit that they see in the idea of talking to you, being around you, or connecting with you. Even with the Nine of Swords coming forward, the Ace of Pentacles, either they feel like the conversation and connecting with you can ease your worries, or it can ease their worries. And with the idea coming forward here of the King of Swords, we can see this as like a logical action to do. So they can think, oh, yes, this is the best thing for me to do right now, or yes, this is something that I should go ahead with, or yes, this is a good idea, right? It's kind of like they're using logic to navigate the circumstance or navigate the situation and thinking that this is something that they should go ahead with, or this is something that kind of provides clarity for them in terms of moving forward. And with the idea of this Ace of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Eight of Cups, they can see the idea of connecting with you, chatting with you as something that can bring forward an opportunity to get them to where they want to be, something that can provide value, something that could move things forward in life, or something that could give them a direction instead of feeling held back or feeling uncertain or feeling kind of like lost when it comes to moving ahead. They can feel like having a talk with you can give them a sense of direction in terms of moving forward and provide them some sort of value that they're looking for. So that's what I would say to this combination. So let us see, what does he want? Whoa. All right. So 10 of Swords coming forward with the Three of Pentacles, Three of Cups is like a want to renew, want to create opportunity instead of ending. So it seems like they are wanting to create some sort of movement, some sort of flow, some sort of direction forward. Knight of Wands, to spark up an opportunity and to see something move forward. This is building up after endings or building up after difficulties and wanting to find a way to move forward in something that can feel consistent or something that can provide value. The Eight of Pentacles with the idea of the Three of Pentacles, we are wanting to build up, we are wanting to build structure, we are wanting to build trust and security and give the idea of more. So it seems like they're wanting to connect with you so that there can be some sort of opportunity here to find growth after endings, to find confidence after difficulties. It's like figuring out the answers on how to move forward and finding some sort of way to create community or connection when it comes to moving ahead. We don't want to maybe do something by ourselves. We are wanting to see an opportunity here for newness. We're wanting to see an opportunity to build up, create community, create growth, create a rested or reassured energy, and just kind of move forward. So it seems like what's going on here is the want to kind of create a community to build up or connect with you to kind of feel this like supportive energy to move forward. So that's what I would say here based on this combination. So if anybody is interested in having a personal reading here today, check out the website, temperanceandsage.com. We are doing the live personal readings here right now. So if you'd like to have a personal reading here today, check it out, temperanceandsage.com for the live personal readings. Alrighty, so let us see. Does he know you like his friend? Let us see. All right. So with this combination, I would say yes. We have the Two of Pentacles coming forward here with the idea of the Lovers, which can say that they're not really even bothered by that idea. They're not really in a place to kind of give any sort of pushback on it. The Two of Pentacles is a this or that card, which can kind of say that they're not really paying it any mind, or they're just kind of throwing away the idea, saying, yeah, you may like them, but whatever's whatever, no big deal. Especially when it comes to the Lovers card, because the Lovers card is the idea of choices and options. So they're like, yeah, anybody could be a choice, anybody could be an option. It doesn't matter if they're a friend or anything like that. People can like people, it is what it is. Especially when it comes to the idea of the Emperor, they can either use the Emperor as they themselves are very stable in their own energy, especially with the Knight of Pentacles, King of Cups. They are stable in their emotional space, in their body, in their mind, as their presence of self. They're very comfortable in who they are, so they're not really caring if there is a desire for another. Or they can view the other person as somebody who is very desirable in general, so they're kind of just saying like, yeah, who wouldn't, so to speak, right? The idea of the Lovers card being choices and options. So I would say yes, it does look like he knows that you like his friend, but there's not really anything going on here in terms of them recognizing that as a problem. So let us see. Did they have a conversation about yourself? So I would say no based off this combination, at least not in any sort of way that would give an indication of like interaction. The Page of Swords with the Hermit is a very curious combination, but it's also a combination that keeps to one's own self, especially when we have the Nine of Pentacles with the Seven of Wands, which kind of puts up a bit of barriers rather than allows people to come in deep. So they may have, just said something in passing, but this is not diving in deep, letting you know why I'm talking about this individual, right? This could just be literally in passing. Oh, did you see you got a message from so and so, or did you see so and so's post, right? Something like that, that would be very much on the baseline surface sort of point of conversation. This is in no way dive any sort of deeper, as we see that sort of defensiveness with the Hermit as well as the Seven of Wands kind of put up the walls rather than allowing people to come in. Especially when we can have the Devil energy coming forward, they may not want certain things to be tied together. They may not want to allow the Devil energy to come in, right? The mind to expand on topics, or other people's words, thoughts, or ideas to get hooked on things. They just may not want to allow that sort of attachment of other people's opinions, or other people to be involved. So this seems to be more of like, if they have had any conversation, it's very much surface level. It's not really diving into facts or details. It's very much kind of keep to one's own self. So I would say no, probably not in the way that you're asking this question. I don't think that they've had a conversation about you, but maybe something more surface level. So let us see. Has D thought of you? So I would say yes, based on this combination. The Ace of Pentacles with the Nine of Pentacles does give a lot of value. So they could be thinking about interacting with you, what could be something that you would want, how would you want to interact, what would you find of value, especially with the idea coming forward here of the Chariot. How can we connect? How can we see some sort of movement or see some sort of flow? The idea that comes forward with the Chariot as well as a Tower, though, is a very interesting combination, because we would be in a place of not wanting to create issues, not wanting to have something to build up only for it to collapse. So they could be in certain ways thinking about compatibility between the two of you. Where could you two work together? Where could you two fall apart? Thinking about Ace of Pentacles, what would be happening in terms of long-term energy? What's the possibilities in that sort of direction? How could something be built up? And just kind of where could things go, right? The idea of, if we're applying value, if we're applying care, can something move forward successfully, or will it kind of fall apart? So I would say yes, based on this combination, but it seems to be very logic-based sort of interactions of thought, rather than it being more of like fantasy, dreaming of life, so to speak. It's more of like, what is the realistic aspects of connecting, and what does that look like? So that's what I would say. So if anybody is interested in having a personal reading here today, check out the website, temperanceandsage.com. We are doing the live personal readings here right now. So if you're interested in having a personal reading here today, check it out, temperanceandsage.com, for the live personal readings. Alrighty, let's go ahead here with 93. 93, what are they going to do about the thoughts? Let us see. All right. So with this combination, I would pretty much say sit with them. When we have the Eight of Swords, Seven of Swords, Tower, and the Strength card, just ignoring the star for a second, this is very much, I'm just going to allow these words to mull over in my brain. I'm not going to really do anything about it because I am dealing with a situation outside of myself, right? When it comes to dynamics in terms of connection, it's not just, oh, I can decide what I want to do and the outcome's just going to be exactly what I want it to be. The Eight of Swords indicates that there is the idea of it being involving another person, right? It's you and then whomever you're going to be involved with. So when it comes to them thinking about these different circumstances and scenarios, they're just kind of saying, okay, here's the ways that things could kind of play out from my viewpoint, but there's still going to be the others involved. And so it makes things difficult to just play things out or take action on it when it's not just going to be that way. And so with the Seven of Swords energy, it's like them saying, well, because I don't think things are going to play out in the exact way that I would like them to, or I think are possible to, I'm just going to hold it back, right? I'm not going to force anything because things could end up being worse in the Tower. And so maybe I'll be open and vulnerable with myself or think about these things or kind of sit with these ideas, but I'm not going to take action on them because it could end up being in a more like a worse off situation rather than better situation. And so it's just kind of better to hold things back. That's kind of what I see going on here. So I would say that they're just pretty much going to sit with the thoughts rather than take any sort of action on them, at least for the current states of energy. So let's see, will he unblock you? So I would say yes, based on this combination, but it's going to be when he wants to and in his own time. And there's nothing that can be really influenced in order to get him to do it. The Seven of Pentacles does indicate that it's going to take some more time rather than it being something that could happen anytime soon. And when we have the Emperor energy come forward, it's going to be on their timing, when they want to, when they feel it's right, when they feel that structure around them. Now, the Queen of Cups, Ten of Cups, Nine of Cups can say that they're going to do it when they feel like there is going to be the best possible environment for all. Very nurturing, very caring energy, something that can create community and something that can create happiness. So this is them basically saying, yes, it'll happen, but it'll happen at a point in the future when I feel like the best outcome is going to come forward, when I think it's going to benefit everybody, and when it feels like with the Emperor that there can be the sense of being able to take action on it in a way that's going to build up or create opportunity rather than just unblocking for unblocking's sake, right? We're not going to unblock and then nothing's going to happen out of it. We want to unblock and then create the opportunity of movement and flow. So I would say yes, but in the further out future rather than anything in the short-term energy. So let us see. Will he consider you in the future if you talk to this other person? Let us see. So I would say yes. Not only do we see this Ace of Swords coming forward, which could say to me that there is truth in the statement that they would consider you, but then we also have the idea of the Nine of Swords, which talks about worrying over nothing, creating anxieties for ourselves in a place and space and in kind of viewpoint that we just don't need to see them. And then we also have the Ace of Cups, which talks about offering love, care, kindness, and emotion. So these three here at the bottom basically says that there should be no worries when it comes to connecting, because there's still opportunity to give, right? It's just like if it doesn't work out with one person, it doesn't mean we're writing off the idea of the other, even though there could be some sort of like closeness between the people. there's still reasons, there's still explanations, there's still life that happens in general, and so it should be nothing that we should worry about, especially when it comes to the Death card as well as the Knight of Cups. What needs to be changed, what needs to be created, what needs to happen in life will happen, and things will just kind of work out in the time space in ways that it needs to, especially when it comes to the Knight of Cups. As we get into a place of manifestation, if it's something that at the end of the day that we want, we can look at circumstances in different ways or situations in different ways, or we can kind of be a little bit more lenient when it comes to ideas in life. So it's kind of like, don't allow the potential possibility to stop you when it comes to moving forward, because if they're in a place of wanting to connect with you, they will connect with you regardless of the connection with the other person. So let's go ahead and see what are the message cards coming forward here. We have no contact is killing me, so they can be wanting to connect with you, to chat with you, or say something here. We also have being with you is my favorite place to be. This is a desire for your company, wanting to connect with you, wanting to be around you, wanting to be close. We also have I feel misunderstood, so they can be wanting to express themselves in certain ways, wanting to see some sort of difference or change, but maybe not even sure on how to bring that energy forward, wanting to create a possibility, but kind of maybe being a little bit stuck or being a little bit held back in terms of how they can express themselves. We also have I fall asleep wishing you were here. So that is also, again, another card wanting closeness, wanting connection, or being in a place of desire. And then we have I see you glowing. So this is them recognizing you for your energy. This could mean that they've seen some sort of photo of you and they deem that you're looking good in this photo. There could also be something going on here of them kind of recognizing your energy and just maybe feeling your energy come forward, come through a little bit stronger there too. So that's what I would say here with this combination. So if anybody is interested in having a personal reading here today, check out the website, temperanceandsage.com. We are doing the live personal readings here right now. So if you're interested in having a personal reading here today, check it out, temperanceandsage.com for the live personal readings. So these are paid personal readings. These are not free. These are not for the collective. If you would like to have a personal reading here today, you can check out my website, temperanceandsage.com. These readings are called the live personal readings, but these are paid personal readings only. These are not free. So let's go ahead here with personal reading order number 94. 94, you'd like to know, does he miss the messages? Let us see. All right. So I would say that there's more of like a notice of the absence of the messages rather than a direct missing them that's coming forward here. When we have the Seven of Wands come forward, there is more of a resistance than there is a flow that's coming ahead. And when we have the idea of the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, there can be like this sort of lack of kind of acceptance that could be coming forward there too. So we kind of get this point of feeling maybe a desire, like recognizing the absence of the messages, especially with the idea of the Justice card coming forward here, as well as the Four of Cups, recognizing the absence of the message, but not necessarily being in a place of like pursuit of the message. So it's kind of like when you notice something is off in your day because your regular alarm didn't go off. There's that sort of energy that's coming forward here, rather than it is being something that is directly tied to the idea of missing the messages themselves. So I would say that they are notice the absence of the messages. They do feel like there is maybe that sort of kind of pull in their mind, I'll call it, but I wouldn't necessarily say that there is a missing of the messages themselves based off this combination. So let's go ahead and see. Does he feel when you think of him? Let us see. All right. So with the Emperor coming forward here with the King of Pentacles, I would say that there is a recognition that they're being thought of, but I don't necessarily think that they are recognized that it's coming forward from yourself. This is kind of like that sort of idea of that old wives' tale. Oh, when you hear your ears ringing, or you know what I mean? Like, I forget if it's your ears ringing or if you sneeze. It's one of those things that's kind of like, oh, somebody must be thinking of me, right? That is the energy that I see coming forward here when it comes to this combination. It's like them recognizing that there's something there's something in the energy, there's something that they're getting recognized for, especially when it comes to the King of Pentacles, since the King of Pentacles is this idea of value. And with the idea of the Emperor, this sort of recognition being put on sort of like a point of a pedestal, right? Kind of being recognized as somebody who is desirable. Now, the Four of Cups, though, is a stubborn energy when it comes to recognizing the options that are coming our way. And so this could say that they don't pinpoint it directly to the idea of you, but they do kind of recognize that there is that energy coming forward of like being thought of. So when we have the Justice energy come forward, there's also this balance. There's also this feeling of flow. There's also this recognition that something is there. So with this combination here, I would say that they recognize that they're being thought of, but not necessarily recognizing that you are the one that's thinking of them. It's more of like that old wives' tale where you sneeze or your ears are ringing and they go, oh, somebody is thinking of me because of this. There's more of that sort of recognition rather than coming forward from you yourself. So let us see, does he want to connect? So, based on this combination, I would say yes, but not necessarily in the present moment. When we have the Eight of Wands, Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles energy come forward, there's a desire for communication and flow, but it doesn't really come as like immediate. This is slow energy that comes forward in the physical through the idea of the Pentacles, but then maybe a little bit more quicker energy that can come forward in terms of communication. So, this could say that they want to connect, but not necessarily in person and not necessarily immediately. The Four of Wands in the reverse can be a difficult time in getting some sort of flow to come forward, especially with the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands can be conflict in the present moment. So not really seeing some sort of way to create some sort of like eye to eye here right now, or having some sort of difference or difficulty in the energy flow between the two of you. Different expectations, different wants for the present moment, something like that could be coming ahead. So I would say that this is like the want to connect in the future, or the want to connect but not in the physical, like face to face, but maybe more on like messaging could come forward here. But again, there seems to be some sort of pushback when it comes to things happening quicker. This seems to be more of like something needing to take its time rather than being in the right here, right now sort of direction. So yes, but not like immediately, or not in the physical. So let us see. Have they looked at your photos or remembered you in any way lately? So I would say yes, based on this combination. The King of Wands, Queen of Wands is definitely a very passionate combination, and would be a point of desire that would be brought forward here too. So feeling pulled and drawn into your energy and wanting the idea of more. Also, with the energy that comes forward here, the Page of Pentacles, I would say that would be more in the idea of a physical aspect. So rather than it be remembering you, it would be more so of like looking at a photo, something that would be more in this like physical sort of energy. Rather than it just being in a point of being in the mind. Now, the idea of the Chariot can be a little bit more of like a forward direction thought. So rather than thinking about something in the past or recognizing something from further back, this could be more of like present moment sort of direction. So something that you have recently posted or recently be involved with, they could be more so seeing that rather than something from further back. And then with the idea of the Knight of Wands, we have this passion sort of pursuit direction that comes forward there. So an excitement, thinking about possibilities, directions, forward movement, again, rather than thinking about things from the past. So I would say yes, based off this combination. Seems like it would be more of a photo or something like that that they would be looking at, rather than it being something of a long-term, back photo, or just remembering you in general. It might be something that's a little bit more recent in terms of like a reference point. So that's what I would say. So if anybody is interested in having a personal reading here today, check out the website, temperanceandsage.com. We are doing the live personal readings here right now. So if you are interested in having a personal reading here today, check it out, temperanceandsage.com, for the live personal readings. Let's go ahead here with 95. 95, you'd like to know thoughts and feelings. Let us see. Alrighty, so there's definitely an excitement that's coming forward here. The idea of the Emperor coming forward with this King of Wands is a strong energy of like passion, but also wanting to show up. The idea of the Emperor wants to come forward as somebody who's respectable. We want to show up in a good way. We want to show up as somebody who's desirable. We don't want to be just the King of Wands, all about passion and, being in the go with the flow presence moment. We want to show up as somebody who's respectable, somebody who brings forward this structure, long-term energy, somebody who can be viewed at in a desirable manner. And so this seems to be them thinking about how they can show consistency, how they can show intention, how they can show that they are wanting to be around you, wanting to be present, wanting to be somebody who can be respectable, feeling very pulled into your energy and very excited by the idea of connecting with you, especially with this Six of Swords, Eight of Wands. This is wanting to bring forward a lot of good directions, a lot of good ideas, flow, and just wanting to be present when it comes to the idea of like being around you, or showing that they can be present, showing that they can kind of have some sort of follow through energy, because the Emperor, as well as this Eight of Pentacles, really wants to show consistency. We want to show that we are respectable, right? Like wanting to kind of show up is the energy that's coming forward here. So very much passion, excitement, desire, wanting to be in a place of pursuit and wanting to bring forward excitement when it comes to being around each other, being in the present moment. So that's what I would say. So if anybody is interested in having a personal reading here today, check out the website, temperanceandsage.com. We are doing the live personal readings here right now. So if you are interested in having a personal reading here today, check it out, temperanceandsage.com, for the live personal readings. Alrighty, let's go ahead here with 96. 96, they'd like to know, has Jay thought of you? Let us see. All right. So I would say yes, based on this combination. It seems like they're thinking about how to create change in the dynamic between the two of you. When we have the energy of the Empress, they are viewing you as somebody who is really desirable, somebody that they want to connect with or want to show some sort of appreciation for. But when we have the energy of the Five of Pentacles, they can feel a sense of like distance or challenging energy in the environment between the two of you. But the Death card wants to change that. And we want to change that with goodwill through the idea of the Wheel of Fortune. We're wanting to bring forward good, or wanting to, Six of Pentacles, see some sort of balance come forward here when it comes to the energy between the two of you. So I would say that they have thought about you, yes. This seems to be like wanting to create good or wanting to create direction. But wanting to create a positive change where we recognize Five of Pentacles, something's not exactly where we want it to be, and there is the sense of distance or issue when it comes to flow and connecting. So I would say yes, based off of this combination. I really like these top major arcana cards though, wanting to create change for the good, wanting to create direction, wanting to create forward movement. So let us see, how is he feeling? Let me just plug this phone in here as I get the notification. All right, so let us see. How's he feeling? So, Seven of Cups, Cups, Judgment is a very interesting combination because we partially get this idea of confusion. We don't know what to say, we don't know what to do, we don't know how to move forward, we don't know how to create some sort of flow happen even though we want it, right? The Seven of Cups is like, what do we do? But when we have the Judgment card come forward with the Ace of Cups, it's like, maybe this is the way. So they can be feeling like they have some sort of direction or some sort of opportunity or some sort of avenue that they should be taking when it comes to you. This could say that they maybe have found a little bit more clarity when it comes to their feelings. They found a little bit more clarity when it comes to moving forward or just how to kind of navigate the circumstances in general. We see the Emperor, which can be a little bit more stable in terms of their energy here too, so feeling a little bit more put together or feeling a little bit more balanced. With the Page of Pentacles, wanting to maybe offer some sort of apologies, wanting to connect, wanting to show some sort of movement or flow for the idea of better. So I kind of see them being in this place where they're maybe a little bit more emotionally balanced from some confusion that they were having when it comes to moving forward, connecting, creating a direction between the two of you, or having some sort of avenue forward, wanting to maybe bring in some sort of apologies here so that they can show up in a better direction or show up as somebody who's a little bit more stable. So that's what I would say. So let's go ahead here with 97. 97, let us see. I'd like to know why hasn't, let me see. Why hasn't he texted today? Alrighty, so I would say I would say with this combination that it is very much the idea of because he will see you tomorrow. The Six of Pentacles that comes forward with the Four of Swords is a very rested energy. We've made this idea of connecting, and so now we can go ahead and rest. It gives us sort of build up energy of something to be able to talk about. What did you do yesterday? With the idea of the Moon as well as this Eight of Cups, right? It kind of brings this element of uncertainty when it comes to opportunities or pathways or directions, which brings forward a quick point of communication with the idea of the Knight of Swords, right? If we talk all the way up to the point that we are meeting, then we've already talked about everything that we could possibly start a conversation with. And it kind of leaves us into this era of needing to create this direction or artificially create this direction of more versus the idea of kind of holding back communication. Four of Swords, being in this sort of rested and balanced energy, it creates a very smooth direction forward when it comes to, conversating, or when it comes to moving forward, when it comes to being in each other's energy. So I would say that they haven't messaged you today just because they're kind of taking a day of rest to create this balance and anticipation of more, or anticipation and flow and ease of communication and connecting, rather than being in a place of needing to kind of like keep the ball rolling, right? We're kind of allowing the ball to roll on its own so that we have this ease of picking up the momentum in seeing each other in person, rather than trying to keep the speed that we've been going at and now keep that speed in person as well, right? It kind of creates this easy flow into connecting. So that's what I would say here when it comes to this combination. So let's go ahead and see for 98. Are they going to call you back? Let us see. So I would say yes based on this combination, but not necessarily right away. The Page of Cups is a card that would go ahead and create a reach out of communication. It is a page, which is a card of communication, so we would want to connect. But the Queen of Swords can be a little bit more of a stricter energy, so you might see this as like, oh, you just called me, call me right back. You can have the conversation flow here. But with the Five of Wands, they might think, oh, you missed the call, you're busy, or you missed the call, you don't want to talk to me right now. And so it kind of creates a sense of a bit of pushback in the present moment that kind of brings some hesitancy when it comes to connecting. And Three of Swords, it kind of gives into this overthinking in the mind sort of direction there too. So I would say that there's a little bit of pullback that comes forward here to kind of delay a bit of communication. But Page of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, we will get to the point of reconnecting, or I should say reaching out there again, rather than it being something that we're just going to allow the conversation to, not pop itself forward. So I would say yes based on this combination, but it will probably take a little bit of time rather than being anything that happens immediately. We have the two cards, I miss your voice. So there's an indication there of wanting to reach out, wanting to connect, wanting to call and talk to you. If I got one thing right, it was you and me. And so that again can kind of come forward with that sort of worrying, don't know what to do, don't know how to reach out, don't know how to make something happen. And that Three of Swords, Five of Wands, thinking about where things could go wrong when it comes to communicating again, rather than it being something that we, have a lot of confidence in doing. And then we have, I just called to say hi, which is that sort of again of, I don't know how to, say more than just picking up the phone, right? Now, when I try again, do I just start with what I was going to say the first time? Do I say something else? If I try to call you now, are you going to answer the phone but then say you're busy, right? It's kind of like we're getting into a point where we don't know now what to say when it comes to creating that phone call. And so these are the cards that kind of come forward as a very basic, if I got one thing right, was you and me. Again, so it's sort of, I don't know what to do beyond this. And then just called to say hi. Well, hi is the start of the conversation, so I don't know what to do beyond this too, right? It's kind of like I want to start the call, I want to create the call, but I don't know how to get the call moving forward. That's kind of what I see coming ahead here. So I would say yes, but just not immediately. It looks like it'll just take a bit of time as they try to make sure it's not, well, perhaps like an inconvenience or something like that in reaching out. So if anybody is interested in having a personal reading here today, check out the website, temperanceandsage.com. We are doing the live personal readings here right now. So if you're interested in having a personal reading here today, check out the website, temperanceandsage.com, for the live personal readings.